So overnight, the sheriff's forensics teams in Tucson searching the side of the road near Nancy Guthrie's home. This is the very new stuff now. This, as sources confirm, the FBI is processing a set of gloves found about 1.5 miles from her house. Lieutenant Randy Sutton joins us now. He served 24 years with the Las Vegas Metropolitan PD. He joins us live outside the Pima County Sheriff's office in Tucson. Randy, your take on what they're looking for that would prompt them to go there at night. What could you maybe infer from this?
Well, in a sense, it shows how desperate they are to literally turn over every stone on this investigation. They are looking for anything, and the reality is that this is very difficult terrain. When you're looking at the wide scope of this search, I mean, it encompasses miles and miles. And with the hope that they will be able to recover something that might have been discarded. Now, I caution about the enthusiasm that has arisen from the discovery of these gloves. Is it possible that they're involved? Sure, and they will diligently, the FBI will diligently examine those for DNA and any possibility. They'll be comparing the material from enhanced photographic images that they recover from the video. They'll do anything to either confirm that those possibly might be the gloves, or that this is a non-starter.
Right. Some people have said those gloves, the ones we saw in the video, that might be the ones we found on the ground. They found on the ground, are from the food service business. That might be somebody that works in some type of area where you need the thickness of those like thermal gloves. How do you feel about that?
Well, I personally believe that those gloves were easily found in any Home Depot or Lowe's, and they are used for plumbing work and things like that.
Okay.
And that there was a set of gloves underneath that. That's my belief.
That's why you would have the thicker gloves. So the sheriff hasn't spoken to us in a while. We get updates just by piecing together different reports and clues and trying to do our own sourcing. How do you think this is working with the FBI and sheriff, the coordination, the leadership? How is it viewed inside from your contacts?
Now, that's a great question, because this is something that's concerned me from the very beginning. Of course, following this case from the outset, beginning when the sheriff did give his press conferences, the way he gave these press conferences was startling. It was unprofessional. He seemed to be out of his depth, quite honestly. He gave information and he walked back information, and he said this, he said that. Clearly under his leadership, the scene was not secured properly. We're now understanding that the FBI wasn't called in until several days later, that the scene itself was compromised. This is bad leadership, and I can tell you this, that I've been on the ground here for like 10 days now, and I've got pretty good sources in the area when it comes down to how this sheriff is viewed. And he is viewed as a vindictive sheriff, that he has, in actuality, gotten rid of some of his most experienced people, including on the homicide team. The homicide team here is, they don't get that much experience, because I think last year there were only 5 murders, as opposed to Tucson, which had like 50. So to be a homicide detective requires a great deal of time and education, but experience. Well, he got rid of his most experienced because he had disciplinary problems or personal problems with them. Same thing with the pilot of the airplane that needed to be up immediately in the search and rescue. He got rid of the pilot and assigned it back to another assignment. He was their pilot. And in all reality, he is not viewed as an effective leader. He's viewed as a vindictive leader. And we're seeing that, I believe, because he hasn't given a press conference since all of the criticism that arose from his other press conferences. And this is bad leadership. The people have a right to have some transparency.
Yes.
Of course, you don't want to give up the leads or anything, but the people have a right to have some confidence in the law enforcement area here.
I keep going back to John Ramsey told me on Sunday, one of his big regrets was now pushing harder to get the FBI more involved early. He just acquiesced and said, do your thing. He says, and he really regrets not doing that. And we know the death of his daughter was in his own house. Lastly, if there was a Guthrie getaway vehicle, was it caught on a traffic camera anywhere after you saw the doorway video? Do you think, what would you be looking for there? Could that be possible?
Yeah, it is possible, and I think that's why they're looking at every single ounce of video that they can obtain from security cameras in convenience stores to the whatever is out there officially in the government, poll cams and things like that. So they're looking for anything that could possibly be have been utilized as a getaway vehicle, and I fully believe that it is out there. He didn't drag that woman out of there and carry her off to Never Land. There's a vehicle involved.
Right. The city of Tucson does not have cameras that record moving vehicles, so it's unfortunate. Some people might like that, but doesn't help here. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Great job.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.